Imagine being alone in a big old hotel late at night, just trying to get to your floor, when the elevator starts acting like it doesn't want you to leave. This is the story of Elisa Lam, a case that still creeps people out more than 10 years later. I remember first seeing that elevator video back in 2013 when I was scrolling online late one night. Elisa was 21, Canadian, traveling by herself through California. She was blogging about her trip, posting pictures, seeming excited to be out exploring. She ended up checking into the Cecil Hotel in downtown Los Angeles on January 28th. The place was cheap, which is why a lot of travelers picked it, but it had this dark history. Murders, suicides, even serial killers had stayed there over the years. People called it cursed sometimes, but Elisa probably didn't know all that when she booked it. A few days later, on January 31st, she just disappeared. No one saw her leave the hotel. Her stuff was still in her room. Her phone was gone, but nothing else seemed missing. The police got involved pretty quick because her parents hadn't heard from her and she checked in with them every day. What really blew the case up was when the LAPD released the last known footage of her, the security camera video from one of the hotel elevators. It's only a few minutes long, but it's disturbing in a quiet way that gets under your skin. You see Elisa step into the elevator alone. She presses a whole row of buttons, like every floor, then steps back into the corner almost like she's hiding. She peeks out, first one side, then the other, real cautious. Then she steps halfway out, looks both ways down the hallway, and comes back in. A couple times she leans forward and waves her hands around, moving them in these weird, slow gestures, like she's talking to someone who isn't there, or maybe someone we just can't see. The whole time, the doors stay open. They refuse to close even though she keeps hitting the buttons. Eventually she walks out of frame, and the doors finally shut on an empty elevator. People watched that clip over and over trying to figure out what was happening. Was she on drugs? Was someone chasing her? Was she having some kind of episode? She did have bipolar disorder and was on medication for it, but nothing illegal ever showed up in the reports. 19 days after she went missing, guests at the hotel started complaining about the water. Tasted funny, looked dark, had low pressure. Maintenance went up to check the 4 big water tanks on the roof, a place that's supposed to be locked and alarmed and really hard to get to. Inside one of the tanks, they found Elisa's body. She was naked, her clothes floating nearby, the same ones she'd been wearing in the elevator video. The lid was off the tank, but there was no sign of trauma, no drugs in her system that explained it, nothing to show anyone forced her up there. The coroner ruled it accidental drowning. They said she'd likely had a manic episode, climbed the fire escape, got onto the roof, took off her clothes, and somehow got into the tank. But even that doesn't add up easy. The roof door had an alarm that never went off. The tanks were 10 feet tall. You'd need to climb a platform and then hoist yourself over the edge. Her footprints weren't found anywhere up there. And how did she close the heavy lid behind her if she was already inside? Years later, people still argue about it. Some say mental health episode and a tragic accident. Others point to the hotel's history and say something darker was going on. There are theories about everything from foul play to supernatural stuff, especially because of how she was acting in that elevator, like she was reacting to someone who wasn't showing up on camera. I still think about that video sometimes when I'm in an elevator alone. The way she kept looking out, waiting for the doors to close, like something was keeping them open on purpose. Whatever really happened to Elisa Lam, she never got to finish her trip, never made it back home. And that grainy elevator footage is all we have left of her last moments. A quiet, confusing goodbye that no one has ever fully explained. Subscribe to Dark Story 247 for more chilling true crime and horror tales.